Hello and welcome to this new video. In this video, I will show you how I made an open deep researcher, same as the OpenAI version, but it's open source. So OpenAI launched deep research few weeks back, and it cost around $200 to use it to get access of it. So you probably have heard some open source version of it already out in the market. I have also seen one from Gina AI, so they have built something using their Gina Reader API. Also, I found this Open Deep Researcher by Matt. It's a quite popular one. You can see star 2.2k stars and 294. It's also do the same thing. It uses SERP API to perform Google search, Gina for extract web page content, and OpenDaughter for LLM processing. And it's using Cloud A 3.3 model, 3.5 model. It uses OpenDaughter API, SERP API, and Gina API. Now I am introducing Open Deep Think Researcher. It's the same thing, but with the power to think for more minutes, I guess, or you can say more seconds. So I'm using basically DeepSeek R1 for this researcher, and you know DeepSeek R1 takes time to think and iterate. For this researcher, I am using Nebius AI Studio for the inference of DeepSeek R1 and Exa Search API to perform the search and get the latest information for LLM to perform the search and make a final report. So what it does is, like, you can put some query and it will create automated research. Like, AI will generate some queries to search, then run multiple iteration to refine and improve the quality of results, then identify and extract relevant information from search result, and then in the final part, AI like DeepSeek R1 will generate a final report using those all context, all data that collected in earlier steps. And I am using Radio UI to provide a interface to the Colab notebook. I am running this app in a Colab notebook, but you can also deploy it as Python apps with more improvements. In the repo, I have added some potential improvements. You can contribute and add to it. You need only two things, Nebius API keys and Exa API keys to run this project. Now come to the Colab notebook. Let me show you how to run the app and what it performs. So let's go to the demo. Colab notebook I'm using. So you can see I named it Open Deep Think Researcher. And before that, let me introduce you to Nebius and Exa API first, because we are using that. Nebius AI Studio is a inference provider kind of. You can say like it has multiple LLM models you can use for different use cases. It has embeddings, text to image, vision models, and everything. So I'm using DeepSeek R1 fast version for this app, so that DeepSeek R1 original model takes a little longer time to perform the searches, but in this case we can get like bit optimized result or bit faster result, you can say. And for the web searches, I'm using Exa Search, Exa AI to search and crawl the pages and get the information for LLMs to be processed. Let's come to the Colab notebook. You can see I have added some instruction like how it works. So if you input some query and you set the iteration, I have set limit for 10 maximum iteration, because if you increase the iteration, it will take more time to search and then make a report, right? So you can see search and content retrieval from Exa search, then LLM evaluates web page relevance to the query, then extract useful information, then process for final report. This is the notebook, and you have to add just Nebius API key and Exa API keys to run this app. So I'm not adding these keys here, and you can see we are using default model as DeepSeek R1. I'm going to run this Colab notebook where I have set API keys as well. So I'm not going to show you the API keys. You just need to run the cell. This part is Gradio UI setup so that it looks good when you are putting queries and getting results. Okay, so it started, and you can open this Gradio UI on a public URL, this one, or it will be loaded here, so you can use from this portion, but I'm opening this on the new page so that it will be more clear to see. As you can see, you can run it here or just open on new page. So this is a research query like you have to perform, you can ask, and this is the iteration number, like how many iteration you want to do. So 10 is the maximum limit. You can increase it or decrease it based on your preference. I will use just like minimum of 2, because it will take longer time if we increase the iteration and so on. And here are some examples I added for anyone to like test out this. Let me search something like what happened around the world just yesterday. It was 18th Feb 2025. As I submitted this, it will generate intermediate step logs like extracting infos using Exa search and then processing. After that, it will generate final report in this window. It will take some time. And before that, let me explain you the code part, what we are doing. We are importing, like we are installing this packages, XAPI for Exasearch, OpenAI for Nebius AI Studio, and then Gradio for Gradio and AI deep. So you know, like lots of packages and all. Then we are importing from XAPI, import XAPI from OpenAI, import OpenAI, you know, like using HDK and all. Then we have configured Nebius AI key and XIPI key. Then we have called like default model setup here. As Nebius Studio supports OpenAI formatting, so you just need to change base URL here. It's still processing and processing. Let me see like how much time it takes. You can improve the timing by changing few things, promptings, and using the code in the collab. So I have already shared in the repo. I will drop the link in the description so you can check it out. For search queries, we are giving prompt like you are an expert research assistant. Generate exactly 4 distinct search queries that would help gather complete information about this topic. Format your response as a Python list of strings. Example, this is this. So as you see, then we are performing search, right? Then we are evaluating if page is useful or not, right? You can see the prompt respond with exactly one word, yes if the page is useful, or no if it's not, do not include any extra text. And we are also defining like how much text we want. Like in this, it's 2000 characters page text and 2000. But when you see, okay, so this is ready intermediate step logs. So you can see we have run 2 iteration. So let's go to start. Okay, generating initial search queries. Initial search global events on February 18th, 2025. Iteration 1, and it aggregated 29 unique links from this iteration. Processing content, Wikipedia, page usefulness. It's checking page is useful or not to be used. Then it's processing content from this YouTube, and it generated no, it's not useful. Processing content from this. See page usefulness from Reuters, yes, like it's useful, so it will be used for the final report. So similarly, you can see lots of processing content, then evaluating, and you can, let's see where is second iteration. So it's extracting lots of, so you can see iteration 2. There is the second iteration. In this iteration, it aggregated like 36 unique links, and then evaluation is being done. Like it evaluates this page, but said no, it's not useful. Then it evaluated page usefulness, what a live delta plane crash Toronto flips. Then it evaluated that it is useful. So yes. So same, you can see the logs. Then this is the final report, like global events report, February 18, 2025, Middle East tensions and conflict. These are the new things like updated that happened yesterday. And if you can search the Google, you will find the same result. Aviation incident, Delta airline crash, geopolitical, US Russia talks in Saudi Arabia, it happened. So these are all the latest details. It conclusion, like in final report, it also added conclusion. So you can see how useful this is, research assistant. Let's go to the repo and let me explain what things are there. So project structure is async research. I'm using this to handle execution of research. Then I am calling Nebius async, like to generate response, as I mentioned. Like Nebius is like DeepSeek via Nebius is generating research queries first based on what we input on the UI, Gradio UI tab. Then XIPI is facing search results. Then it evaluating the relevance of the web page using Nebius, then extracting meaningful content from pages, then compiles all information into a final search report. And Gradio UI is like showing everything. So this is the project, and this project is based on this same Open Deep Researcher, but I have included XIAI and Nebius Studio instead of this three thing. And one important information, like I am just instructing first 200 characters of web page content, right here. And search query is also first 200 characters, and you can increase this. Like when I run this app, this is the same with 200 characters, so it generated result very fast, like it took just 45 seconds or so. But when you see this one, it has 200,000 character limit, right? First 2000 word, extract relevant context from first 2000 characters, and page useful as sync. So content query, web page content, first 2000 characters. So it will study 2000 characters, then evaluates and then process. But to save time and to increase the speed, I'm just using 200 characters for this demo. But in the repo, you can see I have added improvement section, like potential improvements that you can contribute to or you can build upon, like use any LLM's model via Nebius AI Studio. because Nebius AI Studio has lots of different open source model. So user can use like multiple options. If you add that feature via Gradio UI, or you can deploy a full stack Python app using some framework like reflex.dev or Statelet. And you can see like I've added options 2000, 5000, or 20,000 word based on that, because it will increase your API key uses and the pricing as well. But it all depends on you. If you are pricing like, it's better to pay $2 for the APIs instead of paying $200 for OpenAI part, right? OpenAI DeepResearch. But it's open source and you can iterate to make it more useful, more optimized, more faster. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you found this useful, and you can probably contribute to my repo and make it more worthy. You can add more features, or you can fork and build on top of it. I will see you in next video. Thank you.